Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, Prof.
Waalaikumsalam Prof. Roslina.
Alhamdulillah, I think we have about some 15 people joining our briefing today. So I would like to welcome everyone to this briefing session. So we, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we have to resort to this online briefing session. Hopefully, wherever you are able to join the session, especially for those new students. We are also hoping that some of the returning students can also join us, so that they can also be aware of who are the new members of the faculty of the Kulliyyah joining our programs, so that later, they can network and learn from each other. Anyway, so let us start by reciting Al-Fatiha. All right, just to make sure that everybody can see the slide I'm sharing from my screen. Can everyone see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Alhamdulillah, thank you. So, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin, Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. So, I would like to first thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for, allowing us to be here, for destining us to be here this morning, to go through a bit of briefing session. And I would like to welcome all the new students to our Kulliyyah. So I wish you all a pleasant journey. It doesn't matter what program you're joining, whether it's a master program or PhD program. So I welcome you all on behalf of the Kulliyyah to join our PG program. So we would like to, give you some important information regarding the Kulliyyah, and also a bit of information about what are the important things that you need to know about the programs, and how to make sure that you understand some of the important requirements, and to make sure that you don't have problems with your study at the Kulliyyah and also at the university. All right, so I'm going to take about some maybe 20 minutes or half an hour to go through some of the important information about PG program in the Kulliyyah. Okay, so just to introduce myself, my name is Dr. Abdurrahman Ahlan. I'm the Deputy Dean of Postgraduate at the Kulliyyah of ICT. I've been in this office for probably around 5 years, so quite a long time. So I have had some experience, and I think I know what some of the common problem faced by the PG students. So in case you need help and advising, you can always drop to the PG office, and we'll try our best to help you, to give you the right information, also to guide you with what is the correct steps to take in order to get some of the important requirements completed, inshallah. All right, so let me just go through some important information about the Kulliyyah, and also the rest will be about the programs. I'm sure you have also gone through some important briefings given by the Center for Postgraduate Studies. So I'm sure there are quite a lot of information that you're already familiar with. But for this session, we'll focus on the important things that you need to know about the Kulliyyah and also the program that the Kulliyyah offers. Okay, to introduce you to our Dean, this is our Dean, or our Kulliyyah is headed by Professor Dr. Abdul Wahab, who is the Dean of the Kulliyyah. Okay, and I'm sure you have heard a lot about the vision and the mission of the university during the briefing sessions and also during the talks given by the rector, by the president last week. Okay, but at least for our Kulliyyah also we have our vision and mission, and our vision and mission actually supports the vision of the university. So generally the vision of the Kulliyyah is to be an international center of education excellence imbued in ICT, imbued with Islamic values and ethics. So Islamic values and ethics is something that is very, very important in our university, in our Kulliyyah. And in order to achieve this vision, we have some mission statements that help us to realize this vision. Okay, so there are three mission statements. Number one is to develop high impact global players in ICT. Number two, to produce ICT leaders and knowledge workers who are versatile, innovative, and entrepreneurial in response to the societal needs, and to promote ICT as the key enabler in the transformation of the Ummah. So you see that these are the important missions that we want our students to also understand and help to achieve this. Okay, so this is very important. We want our graduates, so at the end of your study, you have to continue helping this institution, IIUM in general, and also the Kulliyyah in specific, okay, to help achieve this vision and mission. So we hope that you will learn as much as you can while you are studying here and try to understand why you are joining this university, what skills you need to develop, and what we expect from you and how you should function in the society after your graduation. Okay, so we expect that you all will be, you know, the agent of change that will help to transform the Muslim Ummah to a better state. Okay, so we all have very important roles to play, and the university is really giving this very great emphasis. Okay, so we will try as much as possible to embed all this vision and mission in the way we deliver the courses, in the Kulliyyah, in the way that you do your research. Okay, because I'm sure while you have listened to some of the important presentation last week, you know, you have heard about you know, the Sejahtera academic framework. You have heard, I'm sure, about the vision of the university and how the university plan to achieve the vision through the 7 mission statement. Okay, and also the framework which the university have laid out in terms of how to achieve those important vision and mission. So I'm sure you have heard about the Maqasid al-Shari'ah, which is part of the framework. You must also have heard about the Sejahtera academic framework. You have heard about, you know, the UNESCO 4 pillars of education, the falsafah pendidikan kebangsaan, okay, where you know, our country and our nation hope to produce insan sejahtera, okay, people you know, who are at peace, people who are you know, who can help to transform the world. So they must first be a sejahtera person before they can help to transform the world to become also sejahtera. And we want our graduate to also understand about Maqasid al-Shari'ah. We want our students to also understand, you know, how the university take emphasis on the United Nations 17 areas of sustainable development goals, because all those goals are actually very much in line with what the university wants to achieve. So I hope we will continue to talk about this in our classes. We will continue to talk about this, inshallah, in the future in some of our events that we are going to organize. Okay. And we'll continue to embed and integrate this value all our teaching and learning, and also in research. So I hope PG student can take more time to understand all of this, the framework, the vision, and the vision of the mission of the university, uh, and how they can also play a role in terms of delivering some of these outcomes that is expected. So we'll try to continue to guide students in terms of how this can be achieved, inshallah. So both in teaching and learning as well as in research. So there will be, you can expect that there will be some programs you are going to organize in the future, inshallah. So if you have any question on this, you can also ask question later. Okay, you can consult our office and wherever, or some of our teachers and also professors here in this Kulliyyah. Okay, in terms of the structure of the Kulliyyah, okay, there are several departments in the Kulliyyah. If you are still wondering, how the Kulliyyah is being made up. Okay, so in the Kulliyyah currently there are 3 important departments and 1 academic center. Okay, so the first department is the Department of Information Systems. The second department is the Library and Information Science, and the third department is Computer Science. Okay. In fact, the oldest or the most senior department in the Kulliyyah is the Library and Information Science. It has been there for a long time. Probably they have exist nearly 20 years, or probably more than that. Okay. And apart from these 3 departments, we also have 1 center that also offers academic department, and the name of the center is Center for IT Advancement. These are some of the important people in the management of the Kulliyyah that we think that you should know. Okay, so try to be familiar with all these names because these are the important stakeholders, and probably one time or another you probably need to meet these people for some reasons. Okay, so the Dean of the Kulliyyah is Professor Dr. Abdul Wahab bin Abdul Rahman. And then we have 3 deputy deans. We have the deputy deans for academic and industrial linkages. Currently is Associate Professor Dr. Amelia Ritahani Ismail. She's on maternity leave at the moment. So our covering deputy dean of academic is Associate Professor Dr. Murni at the moment. And then I'm the deputy dean of the postgraduate, as I mentioned to you earlier. And then we have another deputy dean in charge of the student affairs and alumni. And this is headed by Assistant Professor Dr. Muhammad Sharkawi Hamzah. And we have currently 3 departments, head of departments. Number 1 is Associate Professor Dr. Nurul Noha, who's heading the Department of Information System. Assistant Professor Dr. Raini Hassan, heading the Computer Science Department. And we have Professor Dr. Rosmina Osman, heading the Department of Library and Information Science. Dr. Nomi Sham, Associate Professor Dr. Nomi Sham Awang Abu Bakar is heading the Center for IT Advancement. And then another person I think we should be familiar is Professor Dr. Imad Fakri, who is the head of research and innovation. Okay, so there are a lot of important things regarding research, especially for those research students. So later you may need to also hear and consult Prof. Imad, especially related to things about research. Okay. For your information, the PG programs offered by Kulliyyah, there are altogether about 8 of them. Okay. So the first one is Master of Information Technology, which is offered in 3 different modes, coursework, mixed mode, and research. And then we have Master of Computer Science. At the moment, it is only by research. Okay. And then we have Master of Library and Information Science. currently by mixed mode and research, but inshallah, in the near future, all the three modes will also be offered: coursework, mixed mode, and for research. And then the Center for Information Technology Advancement, CITA, is offering two programs, two master programs. Number one is Master of Protective Security Management, and the second one is Master of Business Intelligence and Analytics. And then we have three PhD programs, okay, PhD in Information Technology, PhD in Computer Science, and PhD in Library and Information Science. Most of them will be by full research, but for PhD in Library and Information Science, they are currently offered in two modes. One is mixed mode, and the other one is by full research. So altogether, 8 different programs, 5 at master's level, 3 at PhD level. If you wonder, what are some of the facilities that we have in the Kulliyyah, we have a resource center, we have research labs and incubators, we have a musalla, computing services, we have cafeteria, we have PG work area, online resources, student societies operation rooms. Okay, but these facilities are available, but during the pandemic, access to some of these rooms are rather restricted. Okay, so we have to follow the SOPs. But this is just to let you know that we have all these facilities, at the Kulliyyah. Particularly for the postgraduate and research office, where I'm residing at the moment. Okay, so myself and also Prof. Imad, our office is at the PG office. And then other names at the postgraduate level that you need to be familiar with is Sister Shamimi, who is our assistant academic officer. So there are a lot of things that you need to consult her. And at the PG office also, there are two other important personnel. Number one is Sister Khairia, and number two, Sister Izzati. So most of the time they are mending the counter at the PG office. So these are the important faces that you'll be seeing as soon as you enter the PG office. So PG office is like a one-stop center for the matters related to PG programs and PG processes. So this is going to be a place where many of you will be frequenting. Okay. So these are the family faces, and on top of that, we also have Sister Martini, who is the secretary at the Library and Information Science Department. Okay, so she's also the person assistant for Prof. Rosalina, the head of the LIS department. And then we have another part-time personnel located at the Center for IT Advancements office, assisting the HOD, Dr. Nomi. So if your program is related to NBIA or NPSM, so you need to see Brother Shafiq probably many times in the future. So try to be familiar with the names and these faces. Okay. In case you're wondering, how the faces of the head of the departments. Okay, these are their faces. Okay, which you can see on the slides. Okay, so head department of information system, Dr. Nurul Noha. Head department of LIS, Prof. Roslina. The department of computer science, Dr. Raini. Head of the department for SITA is Dr. Nomi Sham. There are also two postgraduate coordinators at the Kulliyyah, one for the Information System Department and also the other is for Computer Science Department. These coordinators actually assist the department because some of the departments are focusing heavily on the undergraduate program, so they need additional person to assist coordinating the PG matters. So if your program is under the Department of Information Systems, such as the MIT and PhD ICT, then you need to always see Dr. Izzuddin, who is the PG coordinator for Information System Department. And then if your program is related to computer science, okay, PhD or masters, Then Dr. Ali will be the coordinator for computer science department. So these are the two coordinators that we have also in the Kulliyyah on top of the head of the departments. All right. And then I would like to just also explain to you some of the important academic information that you have to be familiar with, because you know the way the program is being delivered and the way the program is being administered is subjected to the rules and the regulation of the university. Particularly for PG, we are referring to the PG regulations and the related PG policies. Okay, so these are some of the important information that you need to be familiar with. All right. In terms of study period, for master's program, if you're taking full time, then the normal duration will be 2 years. But if you're talking about what would be the minimum time that you need to stay in the program, full-time master would be 1 year, but from the maximum duration will be 3 years. If you're doing based on a part-time basis, then the normal duration will be 4 years, minimum duration 2 years, maximum duration 5 years. And for PhD, full-time will be going to be 3 years, normal duration, minimum 2 years, maximum 6 years. For part-time PhD, normal duration will be 5 years, minimum 3 years, maximum 8 years. Okay, so the duration or the study period is something that is very important. So you need to know, when you should complete your program. Okay, because sometimes you may have to take more time than the normal duration. So you need to know, what will be the additional time that you have before your study period lapse. Okay, so this is very important. Always take note of the study period duration. Okay, for coursework by mixed mode, you need to also be familiar with this criteria to maintain candidature and graduation. Okay, so in terms of your performance, you always need to maintain a CGPA of at least 3.0, okay, in order to continue studying. All right, so at master's level, this is the minimum performance that you have to always maintain. Okay, at any one time that your CGPA fall below 3.0 while you are taking at least 8 credit hours or less than 8 credit hours, then your performance will be rated as conditional pass. Okay, so this is one important thing that you need to know. If your CGPA is less than 2, then according to the rules, you will be dismissed. Okay, but of course, you're not here to be dismissed, so I'm sure you'll do what is necessary in order to make sure that you can successfully complete the PG program. In terms of your CGPA, if let's say your CGPA is at least 3.0 or more, but you fail one of the courses. Okay, so anytime you fail, but even though your overall CGPA is still within the expected requirement, then you are going to still be rated as conditional pass. Okay, so if your CGPA is more than 2 but less than 3, this is going to place you in the first probation. Okay, and you need to make sure that you resolve this as quickly as possible in the subsequent semester. Okay, because if in the subsequent semester you are not able to at least achieve 3.0, then you will be put under second probation. And after that, if you still fail to achieve 3.0, then the regulation says that you will be dismissed. Okay, so very important. So if you cannot remember all these things, the simple rule of thumb is that you always need to maintain CGPA of 3.0. Okay. More information about course registration. Okay, so all students must register every semester. Okay, so new students is required to register after the Kulliyyah briefing. I'm sure the registration have already started from last week. So students have started to fill up the course registration form from last week. Okay, but in case you are still your registration is not complete, okay, you can continue to complete your course registration after the briefing. Okay. For academic workload, if you are studying full time, then you need to take a minimum of 9 credit hours and a maximum of 16 credit hours. But if you are doing part time, then you need to take at least 3 credit hours and maximum of 9 credit hours. Okay. But most of our courses in the Kulliyyah are 4 credit hours. Okay. So for full time, you need to take in general about 3 courses or more, okay, or maximum 4 courses if you are doing full time, okay. But for part time, you can take at least 1 course every semester, okay. And because you cannot exceed 9, then for part time students, they either take 1 or 2, all right. In terms of the attendance policy, the Kulliyyah maintains, the 80% attendance policy because, attendance policy is given serious importance. So you have to attend all the lectures. You have to do all the assignments that are assigned to you. So make sure that your attendance is always at least 80%. Okay. And this is not only important in order for you to be eligible for final assessment, but especially for international students, 80% attendance policy uh, is also important as a criteria for you to, because this is one of the conditions that you must satisfy before you can renew your visa. So in case your visa is expired and you need to renew your visa, the immigration department needs the evidence that you have maintained good attendance. So which means, you have followed the program, uh, well, and that you're not missing and you're seriously, here in Malaysia, studying and not doing anything else. Okay. So attendance policy is very important because you need to have the evidence that you attended in at least 80% of all the lectures that you are required to attend. Even though you have registered for courses, okay, you can actually still make some adjustment to the combination of courses, okay. So student may add or drop courses, and this adjustment must be done during the specific time as announced by the CPS, okay. So try to make sure that you always check on the important dates, okay, important deadlines for some of the important processes related to PG. Most of these important dates are available in the CPS website. Okay, and student may submit application to withdraw from any courses he or she has registered, and application must be made before the end of week 4. Okay, by the 4th week of the semester. So try to check on the important dates. Okay. You can also still withdraw from some of the courses that you have registered beyond week 4, but there will be a fee charge for courses, okay, if you withdraw, in week 5, okay, which is after week 6. And if you withdraw very late in the semester, for example, like after week 11, then there will be higher fee charge, which is 500 ringgit. Okay. Some of you will be required to take audit courses. So especially if you are research students, at least there will be 2 audit courses that you must sit in and pass. Okay, so you'll be taking this on audit basis. The 2 courses are Info 7011 and Info 7901. Okay, Islamic Worldview and ICT and Society, and also ICT Research Methods. Okay, so for audit courses, these courses will not be calculated in the student CGPA, but still included in the student workload. Okay, And even though you are taking this on audit basis, especially the research students, okay, you still have to also maintain the minimum attendance of 80%. Okay, because failure to do so, there will be FA status appearing in your transcript. FA stands for fail audit, okay, which means you are taking it on audit and you don't pass it, you didn't pass it. Okay, so you fail audit if you don't satisfy the 80% attendance requirement. Okay. For PG policies, this is the grading system. Okay, you can also refer this later. It's available on the website and also in the student handbook. Okay, so A is 85 to 100. Okay, A minus is 80 to 84, B plus 75 to 79, B 70 to 74. Okay, and then you have also other breakdowns of the grades. Okay, B minus 65 to 69, so on and so forth. Okay. Um, But for postgraduate student or postgraduate programs, the important thing is that to make sure, in order for you to maintain a CGPA of 3, then at least you must get a B for all the subjects that you take, whether they are core subject or they are elective subject. Okay, so very important, so you can, as if consider that passing for postgraduate courses is B. So minimum marks that you need to score is 70%. Okay. All right. Okay. For program by research, one of the important information that you need to know is about supervision. So a student will be assigned a supervisory committee to guide the research work. So our Kulliyyah, KICT, practice supervisory or supervision committee for research students. Okay, a supervisee is expected to work closely with the supervisor in developing the research, and supervisee is expected to be in contact with the supervisor at least once a month and record the outcome of each meeting. A supervisee is expected to give full commitment and take charge of his or her research with guidance from the supervisor. Okay, so maintaining good relationship between the student, the supervisee, and also the supervisors or the supervisory committee is very important. Okay. Uh, just like coursework, all research student needs to also register every semester. The only difference is that the way it is done. So for research students, your registration is basically the submission of your uh, research progress. Okay. So for the first time, for example, in the first semester, your registration is based on the registration of research proposal. Okay, because for research students, there will be two phases of your study. Number one is the first phase will be your proposal stage, and subsequently, if you pass your proposal stage, then you will enter into the actual research stage, which is the thesis stage. Okay. So either you are at the research proposal stage or at the thesis stage, you must also register every semester. Okay. So for the first time, if you are registering for your research, then you will use or you fill up the registration of research work form, and the rest of it, it will be either submission of research proposal progress or research progress. Okay, depending on which stage you are. Okay. Uh, and if you are taking audit courses, okay, the registration of the audit courses will also be considered as part of your registration. Okay, so registration every semester is very important. Make sure that you register every semester, whether you are a coursework student or you are a research student. For research students, you need to also know about what happened during your research proposal stage. Okay, so before you can enter into the actual research stage or the thesis stage, you need to pass your proposal stage, and this is what you call defense of research proposal. In other words, you must successfully defend your research proposal. And according to the PG policy, a master student or master research proposal must be successfully defended within 2 semesters or not more than 2 semesters after being registered. Okay, and for PhD, a research proposal must be successfully defended not more than 3 semesters. Okay, because if you fail or to defend your proposal within this time, 2 semesters for masters or 3 semesters by PhD research, then your performance will be rated as unsatisfactory. Okay, and according to the rule or the regulation of the university, if you have 2 unsatisfactory performance consecutively, then that will also you probably will be recommended for dismissal. Okay, so I'm sure we don't want this to happen. So make sure that you work hard to make sure that you can successfully defend your proposal within 2 semesters with masters or 3 semesters if you are doing PhD. And before you can go into proposal defense, there are certain requirements that you must also satisfy. And for our Kulliyyah, you must complete the Kulliyyah required courses, especially the 2 audit courses I've mentioned earlier. And you have to also present your research or your proposal in the PG seminar. So we organize a PG seminar every month. Okay. So we encourage all students to attend the PG seminar so that they can learn, how the presenters present in the PG seminar, and also some of the things that you need to know in relation to the PG seminar, because the PG seminar gives you good insights into how your proposal will be evaluated, especially during the defense. Okay. Apart from taking the 2 courses and also presenting in the seminar, you need to also show evidence that you have attended at least 2 seminars. Okay, so which means you have to attend 2 seminars and then you have to present your own seminar, which means at least minimum altogether 3. 2 attendance and 1 presentation on top of completing the Kulliyyah required courses. So these are the prerequisites or the requirements before you can request for defense of your proposal to be arranged. Okay. And apply after you have completed all this, you can apply for defense of proposal after your supervisor make recommendation. Okay. There are some forms that you need to fill up. Okay. So you need to fill up the request for defense of proposal form, which is available from the PG office. Okay. And there will be 2 examiners who will be assigned, and these examiners will be nominated and approved by the Kulliyyah Postgraduate Committee. Okay, so which means you present in the defense, and the 2 examiners will evaluate your presentation as well as your proposal. Okay. In terms of research monitoring, if you are research students, there are several mechanisms that we use in the Kulliyyah. Number 1, you must fill up your progress report form, and this has to be done, every semester. And then you need to present in the PG seminar research group or in the research group if you are part of the research group that the Kulliyyah have. Okay, and then you need to also defend in your proposal, and also we organize PG colloquium actually every semester, every year, not every semester, even in the slides every semester, but actually we organize this at least once a year. Okay, so there could be time when we organize it every semester, but in the last 3 years we have organized it once every year, and for this year we are planning to have it sometime in December. Okay. And PG colloquium is compulsory for students, who have entered into their second semester. Okay, but for students who have just started research, it is an option for them to join. But if let's say they have completed 1 semester and they are about to go into defense, then we encourage them to also participate in the PG colloquium. All right. For your information, the progress report, which I mentioned earlier, must be submitted by week 11. Okay. So it depends on what stage you are. If you are at proposal stage, then you should be submitting research proposal progress report, research proposal progress report. Okay. And if you are at thesis stage, okay, after you have defined your proposal, then you should submit research progress report. Okay. So always remember that week 11 is also one of the important date every semester, because you can start submitting your research progress, and this submission will be considered also as your registration for this following semester. Okay. Your supervisor will be evaluating your research research progress report. Okay. And they will rate either your progress is satisfactory or not satisfactory. Okay. If it is satisfactory, then they will state in the evaluation as in progress. If they think that you have not met the expected performance, then your progress will be rated as unsatisfactory or UP. Okay, and if you get UP, you have to make sure that you do whatever it needs to make sure that in the following semester, uh, it is not another UP. Okay, because if you have UP or two unsatisfactory progress in two consecutive semesters, then you may be recommended for dismissal. Okay. Apart of registration, which I mentioned earlier, okay, there are other application forms that you need to be familiar of in case you need to apply or appeal some of this during your study. Number one is about change of program. In case you want to change program within the Kulliyyah, whatever program is that is within the Kulliyyah, or maybe uh, outside of the Kulliyyah, you can do so, but make sure that you do it during the allowable time. Okay, during the available duration. So always check on the CPS website about this. Okay. Um, so there is form for you available if you want to change for program, or you want to change the mode of your study. Okay, from coursework to mixed mode, or from mixed mode to research. Okay, or from research to uh, from coursework to research, for example. Okay, but this you can only do once in your study. Okay, so in case you think you want to change the mode, you can, but you can only do it once throughout the period of your study. And again, this is also need to be done within the allowable period. And apart from that, you can also change the status from part-time to full-time, or from full-time to part-time. Okay. Again, you can do this once. Okay. And you have to do it early, right? For example, like if you want to change from full-time to part-time, for some reason, make sure that this happened during the first year of your study. Because if let's say you're already in your third year or towards the end of your study and you want to change from full-time to part-time, then actually the study period will have no effect on your study. Okay, so most of the students, want to change from full-time to part-time because normally they are working, and sometimes they want to have a longer time, they need longer time to complete their studies. Okay, but this will only be effective if you apply the change of status of this full-time to part-time during the first year. Okay, try to understand more about this, okay, later. And then sometime in your study also, you probably need to take leave for some reason. Okay, so you can appeal for leave of absence. All right, and leave of absence needs to be applied in the semester for absence in the following semester. Okay, so you are not. It's not advisable that you apply leave of absence for the semester that you have already registered. Normally, you apply for absence for the future semesters. Okay. And if, let's say, your study period, normal study period is about to expire, then you have to apply or appeal for extension. And this extension is known as extension beyond normal. Okay. And as I mentioned to you, there is also a period where you have your maximum study period, and sometimes for some very unexceptional, or maybe something which is not normal, you have to extend beyond the maximum. You can apply to do so. Okay. Uh, but you have, and this appeal normally it will be decided at the Senate level. Okay. And then you can also appeal or apply for exemption for courses and transport credits. Okay, if, for example, if you think that you have taken some of the courses in other program or from program you have done in other university, you can apply for exemption of these courses and transfer the credits. Okay. Again, this is normally done in the first year. So make sure that if you want to apply for this, you do it quickly enough. Okay, especially not later than the first year. Okay. And if, let's say, you want to, for some reason, you want to discontinue your study, then we encourage you, we urge you to actually withdraw from the university officially. Okay. Because there have been cases in the past where students just leave the program and we don't know where they are, but they actually didn't continue studying, but they do not apply for withdrawal from the university. So there could be some problem with that later, especially if you are trying to apply in another university, or later if you want to change program in the university. Okay, so it's best if you think you don't want to continue studying, you officially apply to withdraw from the university. All right. One important thing about publication. Okay, so the university regulation also mentioned about publication policy, uh, and this is part of the graduation requirement, which means, if you're doing masters, especially mixed mode or full research, you must satisfy this publication requirement in order for you to graduate. Okay, so for masters, if you are doing mixed mode, then the minimum publication equivalent point is 1. Okay, and if you are doing masters full research, the minimum publication equivalent point is 1.5. Okay, for PhD, 2. For PhD by mixed modes, 1.7. So what does this point means? Okay, so you can look down there at the legend. Okay, so if you are publishing in index journal, okay, such as uh, in Scopus or Web of Science, then each publication will give you 1 publication equivalent point. Okay, so this will be enough if you are just doing for masters by mixed mode. Okay, but if you are doing by full research, this is not enough. Okay, so how you can achieve the score, as mentioned according to each of the study level or the research mode. Okay, is by way of combining some of the score in order to achieve the minimum score. Okay, for example, like let's say you're doing master by full research, you can achieve minimum publication equivalent point 1.5 through 1 index journal and also 1 from other publication which is not indexed. Okay, so for example, like if it is not non-indexed journal, the score will be 0.7. From an index conference, 0.6. Okay, so for example, if you have 1 index journal and 1 conference proceeding which is also indexed, then your total score will be 1 plus 0.6, which is 1.6, and 1.6 is enough if you are doing master by full research, which require you to at least score 1.5. Okay, so for PhD by full research, the minimum point is 2, which means you can score this from publishing in 2 index journal. Okay, So each one carries 1 point. So if you have 2 index journal publication, then this will be enough if you're doing PhD by full research. Okay. But if let's say you only have 1 publication in index journals, then you have at least 2 publication in either non-index journal or index conference. Okay, in order to achieve minimum 2. Okay, so I hope you understand, how to achieve the minimum score for this. All right. All right. We used to have locker, facility, but for the time being, this is not available. So let me just keep with this one. Okay. Other than that, I think you probably need also want to know, is there any financial assistantship? So these are some of the possible financial assistantship that is available if you need them. Okay. So you have, for example, the President Scholarship and Director Scholarship. And also there's limited financial system based on Sheikh Humaid Rashid Scholarship. And then you have Umatic Scholarship, Niche Area Scholarship, and Graduate Assistant Scholarship. Okay, but the one that are more popular that the PG students apply are the President Scholarship, Rector Scholarship, and the Umatic Scholarship. Okay, and all of these scholarship are not given upfront. Normally, they will be based on your financial needs as well as your academic performance. So academic performance need to be maintained, okay, before you can apply for this scholarship. Okay, uh, and this scholarship is not, as I mentioned to you, given upfront. So you have to apply them maybe based on semesterly basis. Okay. All right. And at the end of the study, if your performance is good, there will be some awards during convocation. So at least there will be one best student for masters award, and there will be at least one PhD best PhD student award also during convocation, right? And for best master student award, you need to score at least CGPA of 3.75. Either you're doing coursework or mixed mode, and also you have to show excellent research publications. Okay, and for PhD, again, publication will be one of the most important criteria. Uh, and one the other criteria is also that you need to complete your study within the normal study period. Okay, so try to strive the best in order for you to bid for the award. Okay, at the end of your study. Just to also let you know, the Kulliyyah have many research units, and we encourage PG students, it doesn't matter what program they are or what level they are, to affiliate or maybe to join this research group, or try to align the research areas according to the research focus areas of the research units in the Kulliyyah. Okay, so for your information, we have all these research units in the Kulliyyah. Number one is perceptive and sentiment computing. And the coordinator for this group is Dr. Murni. We have pervasive computing for brain development, whose coordinator is Dr. Nuzaliza, and then smart data analytics, Dr. Mira Kartiwi. And then we have ICT and Islam research unit, headed by Prof. Muhammad Fauzan, Dr. Fauzan. Semantic Body of Knowledge and Technology, this is headed by Prof. Dr. Ruslina, who's also the head of the Department of LRS. The Intelligent Cyberspace Security, which is currently also Center of Excellence in the university, and this is headed by Dr. Nomazia. We have social media platforms, e-learning and education, headed by Prof. Asadullah. Information Systems, Internet and Governance. This is currently headed by Prof. Adam Suhaimi. Computational Intelligence, headed by Dr. Suryani. Software Engineering, headed by Dr. Nomisham. Blockchain, Distributed Ledger and Application, headed by Prof. Dr. Norbik, and we have Information Assurance and Security, headed by Dr. Nurul Nuha. And we also have another research cluster, which I'm heading, IT development and e-government. Okay. So there are actually 3 research clusters out of all these 13 research units. Number 5 is a research cluster. Number 6 is a research cluster, and also number 13. And finally, I need to touch something about codes and conduct. So as PG student, adult students, we expect that you show good example to some of the junior students. Okay, so please ensure that you comply to the dress code and the professional conduct. Integrity is something the university give great emphasis. So make sure that you uphold the academic integrity, because any violation of the academic integrity will be treated very seriously, especially related to plagiarism. So make sure that academic honesty, academic integrity is upheld by all PG students. Okay, so we don't tolerate at all, academic dishonesty, especially plagiarism. So make sure that you, whatever you do, especially inciting other people's work, when you make reference to other people's works, cite them adequately. Make sure you provide the complete citation, and don't attribute any of work which is not yours as yours. Okay, so there's a great violation. And then you need to also adhere to all the IM policies. Okay, you can refer that from the website based on the link that is given. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, I take quite a long time trying to explain all of this information. So if you have any information, please you can raise them so that we'll try as much as possible to respond to your questions. If we can't answer them now, we'll try to provide you with the information later.
Dr. Rahman, can I add?
Yes, please, Prof. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. With regard to the awards, okay, for our student MLIS by coursework and research, okay, the mixed mode. Every year, we nominated our MLIS student for the best student at the national level, sponsored by the Persatuan Pustakawan Malaysia. So just to inform, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Prof, for that additional information, and we are glad that our students have been the recipient for that award for many years. So this is one good information for those registering the library information science program. So you can have possibility to get that award, inshallah. Okay, is there any other question?
Doctor?
Yes.
Maybe you can share with new student the new PG booklet that I already emailed you just now, or student.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, some of this information that I've shared with you, we have also put them in like compile them in a PG, kind of like a PG handbook. So that information is inshallah available in the Kulliyyah website in the section of PG Office. So if, let's say, you go to the PG Office section of the Kulliyyah website, then there is a tab for some of the information that we have spoken today, in order for you to make more reference later. Okay, so in case you miss some of the information that is given in the slide, you can also refer them from the handbook. Okay, so thank you, Sister Mimi. Any other questions? No questions? All right. Um, so if you don't have any question, so I think that's the end of the briefing session. You can always come back to the PG office. Okay, either you come physically, okay, or you make contact either by email, or you can send messages using WhatsApp. Okay, or you can try to access some of the information from the website. So if you need any help, we'll try our best to help you in whatever we can. Okay, and then to for information that you need, or maybe to expedite some of the administrative processes. Okay, so in case you're not sure of how to do certain things, you can always consult our office. Okay, so please make the PG office as your favorite place, inshallah. But make sure also you try to comply to the health SOPs, okay, because we are now facing pandemic situation. So try to make sure that if you are in the kuliah, make sure you report to the desk there, to take your temperature, scan the QR code, okay, because the kuliah needs to track whoever is in the kuliah, okay, in case there'll be problems later. We always have the information about who are in the kuliah, right? So please maintain good hygiene, okay, and make sure that everyone is safe and secure, inshallah. So I wish all the new students the best in terms of their journey, completing the journey to complete the PG program and the PG studies. And we'll try to do whatever we can to support you, and also to provide you the assistance that you need, inshallah. I think that's all. Thank you, Sister Mimi, for hosting the session. Thank you, Prof. Rose, and everybody else who have attended this session, and also who has asked questions and also provide additional information. Thank you very much. So if there is no other questions, let's end our session by reciting Surah Wal-Asr and Tasbih al-Farq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.
Ini